Hi, I'm Alex Archman. I've been buying and selling antiques since I was a kid. Over the years, generations of our family have gotten involved in the business, and I'll search just about anywhere I can to find hidden treasures both big and small. I never know what I'll turn up next. It's about exploring new places, seeing new sights, and having fun. And even though sometimes I get over my head, we try and make things a little better along the way. This is Curiosity. To help me with the cleaning, Melissa has arrived.
Hello.
And in the bedroom, Abigail has arrived. Now, there is somebody who is looking after the house and going to help with listing it. And they asked me to leave them sort of a bedroom setup. So that's what we're going to do. But we are going to sweep it and make it look nice because we don't want them to have to sleep in a dusty room. But we'll try and make that look a little bit more like a bedroom. Melissa, yeah. I'm saying a lot. That's because I'm having thoughts. And apparently I'm stuttering in my brain. I do need your help bringing the stuff down off the top and giving it a rinse. And then we'll figure out what is going to charity and what we might be able to resell. So we got to really go through the kitchen today and clean it up. I'll bring up a folding table that we can put here so we can sort stuff on. I'll go grab that. I think there's one in the basement.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go find you a table. Steven has also arrived to help me carry stuff downstairs, like the table. And Hannah came with him, and she's helping to sweep. That is a vastly different looking floor underneath all that dust. That's a lot of dust.
I know, you can actually see it.
Yeah, but surprisingly, it kind of, did it protect the floor in this one area? That floor in this spot looks so much better than the rest of it, but I'm gonna get out of here because it's a dust storm in here. Steven, we're going upstairs. Abigail's sweeping, Melissa's washing dishes. Takes a little army to kind of make this come together. What I need your help with is carrying this coffee table down, and that's actually gonna go right in my truck because it's meant to go to auction today. Oh, I forgot I still had this old guitar here too. So we'll get that cleared off and then haul that out. Well, with the glass out, the table actually wasn't too heavy. Steven grabbed that. I've got the glass, but I'm gonna give them a wipe down before it goes. Don't wanna sell something all dusty and dirty. I guess it's about time that we cleared off this dresser. So maybe put the board in first and then we can put the pieces. Hang on, let me see if I can find you. There was a little box downstairs. Hang on, I'm gonna go grab you a tiny little box for putting those pieces in. The garbage bag box. But it should work in a pinch for chest pieces. Here you go, Steven.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome. You call me Pa.
Yeah, as I often do.
Oh, I guess I've got to get a clear bag so we can get this stuff ready for donation. I didn't even look through this yet. Bedding. Oh, a little bit of jewelry. I wonder if there's... Oh, there's pearls. Cool. I guess I'll have to spend some time going through this cupboard before I just put everything in the donation bin. I must say things are moving a lot faster now that you guys are here. Yeah, the dust almost turned to like grease on this. And even though we're donating a lot of this stuff, I didn't want to give it to them all greasy and gross. Steve and I are going to move the dresser down, I think, next. And we'll probably put it over here. This room seems to be the cleanest so far, so we'll keep the stuff going over here. How's the front room going, Hannah?
But nearly all this dust.
Did you
dusted up.
form like a tiny little dog out of
It
dust?
was really heavy, actually. Like feeling the weight of the dust against the broom was
I-
kind of uncanny.
I think it's been there a long time.
I wonder what kind of memories this dust has.
A lot of memories. A lot of Christmas memories, I think.
Yeah.
Now that it's swept, this floor can have its first mop in probably a while. I don't want to say decades because I have no clue, but judging by the dust, that's possible.
This is really satisfying.
I know, it's like freshly painted floors.
It almost looks like I'm giving it a slight stain.
Yeah, I mean, it'll dry a little later, but it sure is nice to see that grain coming up.
Yeah.
while they're working inside on the floor, I'm gonna go down to the basement where I think I saw some floor cleaner for hardwood floors. Abigail, if you're feeling up to it, the basement steps are pretty nasty. It's true, they are. Somewhere in this dark cavern where there's no lights is a box full of cleaning supplies. I'm gonna bring that up so we can use them. Like, it's all walled in. They framed it to make probably like a bedroom, a bathroom. This is the furnace room. Like, probably a little living space over there. So it wouldn't take much for the next people to make it their own. Let's see. Next, Murphy's oil soap. That's what I want. There's another thing of it there. What else do we have? Wall prep. How long has this stuff been sitting down here? Okay. Arrow furniture polish. Okay, well, the Murphy's oil soap, you mix that with a little bit of water in a bucket, and that should clean up that wood floor just nice. Well, the dated looking couch that was sitting there, that couch, turned out it was a hide-a-bed and weighs like 600 freaking pounds. Steven's run out to grab a bungee cord. Did you find it? Okay, we're gonna tie it shut just so it doesn't open up on us when we're trying to get this down the steps. I'll grab that from you. 1970s couch, goodbye. Loaded up with the old treadmill, off to the dump. Every time we make a trip to the dump, it's a good day. Grab. It's part of a blind. Do you hear that? It's the sound of nothing. Because I'm the only one here. Everybody's left. And I'm still here because I've got to get these shelves emptied off because they're supposed to be getting picked up tomorrow. I've got to organize some garbage from upstairs. Oh, Melissa thought she was done. Oh, I forgot about that, the Wedgwood set. Melissa thought that she was done with this kitchen area and then opened up some of these cupboards and they were still completely full of stuff. And that one looks like it still is. So a little bit of work left to do. Oh, yep. These drawers are still full too. So I guess she didn't get through all this. So I might take care of that. I need to go pick up some boxes though, because I have actually used up all 50 of those boxes that I had. I do have these little storage bins, which I can use for my stuff that needs to go to auction. And maybe that's what I'll focus on right now is the whatever I can find to possibly sell. In the kitchen though, she did find a few interesting pieces. These are made in England. Yes, this one is. Wood made in England. Sort of like a hunting riding scene on it, that picture. Nice little coffee and sugar and flour set. There's vintage Pyrex right there and there. So some nice old Pyrex. This is kind of neat. This is a Danish, or Finnish, I'm sorry. Fennel, made in Finland from the 70s. And actually a lot of this stuff, that's Dansk like nobody's looking. So those are actually pretty collectible. I've sold those even on locally on Facebook Marketplace and stuff, and we've done okay on those. So I know I can get okay money for those. This little tray is kind of cute. I like this colorful 70s stuff. This country kitchen stuff is pretty cool. So this is my mission right now is I've got to get this emptied out so these can get picked up. I've got to get some of the stuff set aside that I can take to auction and basically just get organized here. Gathering up some more stuff for the auction, like the English wood pitcher with that hunting scene I showed earlier, the Crocs. This is kind of cool too. It looks like a wood water bucket or barrel, little bucket that you'd send down a well bucket. But it has ceramic fruit. That pepper is actually ceramic, so is that squash. I think that's kind of a cool little set. Reminds me of when you'd see your grandparents would have glass grapes or something. You'd be all hungry for a grape and they'd be fake. But that's sort of the same idea, and I think it's neat. Albeit dusty, this set kind of reminds me of the sort of thing you'd get in Italy. It looks like it's hand blown. It might be Murano glass. Same with this. What do you guys think? Actually, the question is, what do you think they would have served in this? Is this for ouzo? Is it Greek? What goes in there? Any thoughts? I know it's not port. Port has those funny little cups that you drink out of. What do you think they would have served out of that? I don't know. But I do know that I'm making progress here, and I've almost got this complete shelf cleared off. I hope that he brings help tomorrow, because my back is feeling a little sensitive, and I don't really want to have to lift these massive giant things all on my own, but I guess if I have to, we'll do it. It's part of a fondue. Oh no, that's that's part of that set. Trying to keep everything together too. All the stuff that needs to go together. All the Dansk. Is this part of that as well? Yep. Looks like I'm gonna have pretty much a complete set here. Pays to go around the house and look for all the missing parts. Look at this. It's a whole bunch of old butter patterns. What the oldest one in here is. They look like they kind of go back to maybe the 80s, 70s perhaps. Whenever I come across these and they're from like 50s or 40s or 30s, they can be quite good. Oh, there's even crafts. Okay. It's kind of fun. I mean, there's nothing stopping a person from going back and making one of those pantsuits or dresses from the 70s all over again. I mean, heck, once you got the pattern, anything's possible. With yet another load of garbage gone, I've come out to the garage to have a look and see what else can go to charity, because that's the next one. And look, we found this 1950s Debbie doll still in her plastic. She's been trapped in that plastic for like 60, 70 years. But that's kind of neat. There's, I guess that's a pin cushion, which is a little sick. It looks like it's been stabbed. Just making sure that there's nothing else in here of extreme value. There's a lot of fabric and stuff which can be recycled and reused. That can go. This box appears to have some electronics in it, and there's an old Walkman here. I don't think it's a brand name. ESC. There it is right there. Wonder if that still works. Oh, it's even got the original headphones, what's left of them. Might find the rest in there. We'll set that aside. Oddly 80s Walkmans and stuff. Yeah, there's the clips for the headphones. Itsy bitsy mini wheelbarrow. Cassettes. More tapes in here. Not much for the rock and roll. There's a lot of Bible stuff. Oh gosh, got a mosquito on me. Universal AC power adapter. Well, might come in handy for something. Okay, I think the rest of this can probably go. Actually, if I can find the padded part for these headphones, those are probably worth hanging on to. I shouldn't be so hasty. Oh, that might be sunglasses. All right, well, I guess I'll have one last look through this box, then we'll get in the truck. Managed to get this big dresser down the stairs, one step at a time, and the big table that was upstairs too. Those will go out the door. This nice little Elna sewing machine, I'll put it back in its case. As I was clearing and moving stuff, I found that the lady who used to live in this house was an artist and her husband was a professional landscaper. No surprise considering how beautiful this yard is, that it must have been quite the showpiece. In fact, it was such a showpiece that at one point it was, here you see right there, they had it in the local paper. And there's all sorts of articles. It didn't just appear in one publication. This house was in quite a few. I was looking through the scrapbook and there's multiple spots right there. All these different articles of, there's the inside. So look, there's the staircase we're looking at right there. And that's how it was done up. It looks so pretty and cozy. Let's see if I can get the exact view. This photographer was standing right about there. So that's why there was all the Christmas stuff. This whole house was basically like a Christmas village house. And the steps. And here's the same steps, lots of wear and stuff on them now. But at one point, they had all these little baskets and flowers and the stain was nice, the paint was nice. The house has certainly seen better days, but seeing articles like this make me realize just how special this home really is and how special it really will be again. If I didn't already have a house, I would scoop this place up in a heartbeat and put it back to its former glory because it really deserves it. You can tell these people really love this place for a long time and life got in the way. As for her art, there's some pretty interesting pieces here. Look at that. She's quite talented. And a mischievous looking son. It looks like some art school sort of drawings, like fashion drawings of the era. But we're gonna put all this together and put it in with their personal paperwork. I, on the other hand, have to get focused and get that loaded up in the truck. Off go all the shelves from the garage and inside the house to a new home. Gave them away for free because I didn't want to have to haul all that stuff. So bye-bye shelves. One less thing. Well, I'll admit, I'm at the stage of a clear out where it's really not fun. You know, you do the discovery, you find some things, you hope to get your money back at auction, but I'm really just tired. This has been a lot of work straight through, but I am seeing some really good progress. Like the house is nearly empty. That said, there's still the room upstairs, the trunk to go through, and a whole bunch more. I am doing a last look around right now for things that I can haul to charity. I'm going to do one more run and then come back and work on garbage again. As I continue to make trips to the dump, figured I'd better start with a little bit of yard cleanup. Throughout the yard, there's little pockets where there's old tarps and garbage cans and this ratty old table that simply just have to go. Now, they've asked me to leave certain things, but most of this they would like to see gone. There's a big giant wrought iron gate there, but anything that's sort of related to the fence or gate, that's gonna stay. Beat up park bench. There's two of them there. I have to make some decisions. I know for sure this table can go. We're just generally gonna clean up the yard a little bit here while we're at it, and then I'll work back through the house again. Let's flip that over just to make sure there's no hornet nest underneath it. I saw one buzzing around. Looks like it's okay for me to load without getting stung. Well, with another load of garbage gone and the yard starting to look a little bit better, I've got to do my usual routine here, which is stuff to charity, stuff to garbage, stuff to charity, stuff to garbage. But I've been saving a couple things to look through for kind of just the right moment, and I think that moment's arrived. There are two big trunks. Treasure chests, let's call them. This one, and well, I guess that one's not so big. But we're gonna go through these and see what's inside. Oh gosh, well, it's definitely heavy, so I know there's stuff in it. And what do we have? A mountain of fabric from the looks of things. All sorts of fabric on the top. It's great for crafting and all sorts of stuff. You get that bagged up and then we'll look in the bottom of it. Well, admittedly, that was anticlimactic. This trunk contained a lot of fabric, which, although useful and is being donated to charity, there was no treasures in there, but the trunk itself is kind of a treasure. It's a very nice curved back trunk with the nickel plated details on there. Really, really cool piece. And this trunk, we happen to have the mate to that trunk at home that we're using as an end table. Ours is a little cleaner looking than that, but that's a nice antique metal steamer trunk, and the cedar chest was empty. Both those were empty. So a couple nice things that I can sell. I had almost forgotten about this space. Now there's a bench here, which I can sell. I'll have to go through some of the papers, and if there's stuff on there that is personal to them, we'll set that aside. Filing cabinet's gotta go. Empty boxes, but there are some boxes which are not empty right in this area. I see a light up top. I'm gonna see if there's a way to turn this light on. It is really, really warm up here. Let's see. Okay, well that's that light. That's something. Central vac. One thing I want to point out, this house, as dusty as it was, they actually installed central vac throughout the whole home. And it does look like they were planning on making this into a living space. It just never happened. Because the wiring is there, they started to insulate, and then they stopped. Well, I guess it's no light for me. I don't know where that other switch is. Probably downstairs somewhere. Oh wait, hang on. I almost gave up. And all I had to do was look over by the window. Oh, and there's boxes down there. Okay. So let's go through some of these boxes, and conveniently there's a big table here. And a dustpan. Could have used that dustpan earlier. It's never too late to use a dustpan. Get that out of the way. We'll go through some of the boxes that are in this space. What do we have? Oh, that's encouraging. Is there Pyrex in here somewhere? Or Fire King, maybe? I see a lid. These are these Fire King? Yeah, they are. They're Fire King. There's a little set of Fire King casserole dishes from the looks of it. Full set here. We've got Fire King. We have hoping for Pyrex. Glass bake. To figure out what lids go with which. That looks like another one of those glass bake. So that's 2 out of a set. This looks like a sunburst pot or a mixing bowl. A couple of those. Yeah, these are neat. Nice vintage sunburst pattern mixing bowl set. Got the yellow and the white. Old coffee pot. Lid for a casserole dish. For that casserole dish. And what do we have? Oh, that's more of the glass bakeware. So the Fire King and Pyrex would be a little easier to sell. Those are pretty collectible. And that is a Anchor Hawking. Okay, a few neat pieces in there. Okay, wanting to go through this box up here. The first day I walked through, I noticed this elephant, 1950s, something like that. So it got me thinking there might be some other neat knickknacks in here. Where is this made? Germany, Rosenthal. So let's see, maybe, oh, that's a nice little vase. When's this paper from? Give me an idea when this was packed up. When was this box packed? Let's find out. Friday, June 6, 1986. Well, if you haven't used it since the 80s, you're probably not going to use it. There's that brass boot you were looking for. It's also a pin cushion. I feel like there are lots of, yeah, there's glassware in here. Another one of those little jugs. That one's made by somebody. That's handmade. Well, I'll do a little search through here, see what I can discover. Who is this by? Signed by an artist on the bottom. Obviously sold somewhere for $14. Would have been a bit of effort to cut that clay out and then have to fire it without it cracking. Can appreciate that. I'll see what I can find in here to possibly resell, and the rest of it we'll send off to charity. This will be one more box that's gone and done. All right, with another batch of stuff over to charity and some of the mess cleaned up around the yard, it's time for me to do a little cleanup in one of the outdoor sheds. That's because the auction isn't accepting items right now. I've got to wait until after the weekend. So the things in the house that are sellable have to stay there over the weekend. So to keep myself busy, I've come back to one of the garden sheds where I've promised the owners of the property that I would take the chemicals that are in this shed to the eco station. But I'm also going to see if there's some that maybe I can use around my house, because I don't want to throw out perfectly good stuff, but it's time to deal with the chemicals. Incidentally, this is a really cute little greenhouse, glass greenhouse, and it would be fantastic to have something like this at our property. Unfortunately, very difficult to move something like that. I guess it wouldn't be impossible, but these are staying here with the property. But inside are a plethora of chemicals, things like concrete cleaner, bug and gnat cleaner. There's actually a lot of good usable stuff in here. So I'm going to try and salvage as much as I can and then take the rest to the eco station. But I can use that Armor All, and I'm sure some of these insecticides and cleaners that we can use as well. But there's no way to drive my truck up here. So what I have to do is find a way of getting it up to my truck that's a little easier. And I think there's an old wheelbarrow that I haven't taken out of here yet, still in the shed. Yes, there is. There, I think I've got it all down to stuff I can use. Pine Sol, cleaners, car polishes, but the rest, all the old paints and Roundup and stuff like that, that is probably expired or not usable, is in the truck. So now, off to the eco station. Before I call an end to my day here today, not an end to this episode, but an end to my day here, I've come inside this little shed, and I'm being somewhat delicate with my feet because, as you can see, there's a wasp nest right there. I did spray it the other day. That's the one I ran from a few episodes ago. seems like it's dormant or dead. The reason why I came in here is because Melissa needs a little shelf pretty much exactly like this near our garden, so that she can put her fertilizer and stuff like that for our garden outside. That ought to do the trick. And I noticed as I was clearing this off to get it out, there was some other stuff in here. There's an old candy store sort of jar right there, an umbrella, and this, an A&W root beer stand, which surprisingly would have value to collectors. Something like that, that's probably from the 70s, I'd say, based on the fact it's got this MacTac wood grain detail to it. Somebody would want that. There's A&W collectors, especially out here in Canada, where there's more A&Ws. Oh, that is something that's sellable. Some enamelware. It's like your Wild West campfire sort of enamelware. So a few good things in here, but I'm staying focused on getting this loaded up, and then I will come back tomorrow and continue my work. And there we go, it's loaded up. Also got the butcher block from the kitchen, which we can use, a bunch of polishes and gasoline for weed whackers. Just generally good stuff that can be put back to use. I'd say that's a pretty good day. I have returned with backup, you, Jason,
Yeah.
as I need your help hauling some stuff out of the basement. We're gonna do a metal run today, scrap metal.
All right.
Gosh, this is a pretty little house. It's not that little. Enamored with it. Oh yeah, at some point I gotta come back. I got halfway through sweeping off that rug. I figured they'd appreciate if I didn't throw their massive carpet out. So we're gonna give that a sweep at some point. But today, it's about scrap metal. All right, down in the basement. Oh, when was the last time you were here?
I don't remember.
Does it look emptier?
Yes. There was still like shelves and stuff.
Okay, yeah. I think it was Hannah and Abigail were here last. Because you've been working.
Yeah.
Down in this switch doesn't do anything. I think we actually have to pull the pull cord here. There we go. So this thing has to come up first. So we might dismantle it a little bit. And then that filing cabinet, this T-stand rack, and I think there's another one. So Jason, if you wouldn't mind hauling this out and just putting it by the truck, and there's another one kind of around the corner there too. We're just gonna take everything we can that's metal. While you're working on that, I'm gonna see if I can dismantle this. Looks like this light is actually just floating. Huh, look at that. There's less to worry about than I thought. But I will get it disconnected. I'm sure somebody probably be able to reuse those extension cords for something too. Okay, well that's not so bad. I can take these shelves up. And another load of metal to the scrap bin. What's everybody else been throwing at? Your usual junk. One time I looked over and there was a 1940s electric guitar, but it had been rained on and smashed. Such a shame. I shouldn't say 40s, it was probably more 50s. Not one in there today. Well, that's as far as I could take it today. I am tired, I'm beat. We got the last load of stuff over to the scrap bin and I'm exhausted. This has been a lot of work the past couple weeks here, but next episode is the finale. I'm got some big plans for the house. So stay tuned for the last episode, which is coming out soon. And hopefully you'll see a nice transformation from the property as it was to the way it is now. And hopefully the folks that own this house will have a much easier time selling it with all the stuff gone and the house looking a little bit better. So stay tuned for the final transformation episode coming out next week. And guys, thanks so much for watching and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.